Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Knuston Farm, where today, you can see it's almost 4 o'clock and I said I'd start work at about 12. It's actually a few weeks later. I said that a few weeks ago. Because I didn't know this, but there was more deliveries to the farm than I expected. Charles had the entire yard remodeled. All of it. So, all of the sheds that were there. There's one shed that survived apart from the bale shed. And that's the one that I was keeping the mower and stuff in. The fertilizer and herbicide tanks arrived on time, as promised. We got in this lovely little machine down here. I'll cover that to the right in a second. We got it in a lovely little machine down here. This is going to produce some seeds for us. I don't crash into it. This is going to produce some seeds for us in the future. And I may need to fix the building it's in. So yeah, plenty of new sheds. I've told Charles, and kind of decided by myself, made a bit of a unilateral decision here, but he seems to accept it, that this big shed over here is going to be the shed for retired equipment. So as you can see, the harvester and the baler are both there because they've been retired from work on the farm. These smaller sheds are just going to be for equipment storage. We've got some brand new crop storage over here. So all of our crops are now being stored in one big series of sheds. A couple of new sheds in here in the corner where there wasn't anything before. The seed pads have been moved a bit, and fuel tanks have been covered up, which is always good. So now it's on to things we need to get done today, and I said I'd do the fourth meadow, move the bales out of the fourth meadow first. That's not going to happen today. That'll be tomorrow possibly, or not tomorrow, Thursday. That'll be in the video you'll see on Thursday probably. What we need to do today is, I'm actually going to do a bit of a tour first, because I completely forgot a few other things. So I'm just going to drop the bale trailer here. The road here has been worked on small, but it's a bit smoother than it was. So over here, you saw the other side of it from inside in the yard. This right here is a compost machine. This beast, I'll be loading straw, grass, whatever I want in, and it'll get us compost. I think I can throw manure in as well if I really want to. Let's see what it can take. Will it show me what it takes up here? In theory it should, but it probably won't. Yeah, just that manure. It can take a ton of stuff. It can produce compost that we can throw onto the fields and get some use out of. The compost that comes out down there, it basically speeds up the composting process. So let's head on. Do I want to just work now? No, I want to show you the remodeled dairy farm, because I think it looks quite nice. So let's head down there very quickly. I know I could have used a different tractor to get there slightly quicker and less bouncy. The road still isn't 100% smooth. In fact, it hasn't been smooth at all. I was mistaken. In other words, that was in the first edit. It failed. I was told there was going to be pigs, but there was some weird issue with doors just not working. So that's something that may or may not happen in the future. Right now, we've got the compost master in, we've got the seed master in, we've got pretty much fertilizer and seeds for free now. I mean, we're going to be using some crops to create them, but it's going to be stuff that we would have otherwise with the compost in particular. It would have been just straw that we would have either chopped or dumped, because the straw just doesn't make enough money to be worth selling. So let's head in now to the dairy area, where, as you can see, some more changes have been made. It was a bit scrabbly and ratty before, whereas now, if I don't hit into the gate, there we go. Now we have 3 sheds for storing our bales. We've got a brand new covered silage clamp, pair of covered silage clamps I should say, which both have walls to meet health and safety requirements. And I just got a Steam message. Oh dear. I'm going to reply to that real quick, so just bear with me. Alright. Oh dear. Couldn't have happened at a better time. As you can see, I've cleaned up the yard. All of the junk that was there is now gone. And this place looks like it's ready to get some cows in. And hopefully that'll happen soon. So down at the shop there's also been a small installation put in. Let's head down here. Still a bit of mess around the sheep, which I don't particularly mind. I won't be using them all that much. The shop removed where they want the wool pallets put. Is that showing up as a silver? It is. Wonderful. So, the shop now want the wool pallets put there. And they've also started accepting compost. They're allowing me to sell compost to them. What's the price for the compost? I honestly have no idea. 971 per 1,000 litres. It's actually more lucrative than silage right now. It's actually more lucrative than hay beds. It's the single most lucrative thing we have on the map, I believe. Or we have in the area. Yes, it is. It takes time to produce, but it is the single most lucrative thing we have. That potentially changes some plans. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change entirely what I was going to do today, which is wonderful. And I was going to load up all these bales that are up in the meadow by the yard and sell them off individually for about, I can't remember what the price is, 1,000 to 1,300 euro a piece. If the compost is really that lucrative, I'm gonna make compost out of those bales at the very least, and get the compost master working. Because if nothing else, and if I decide not to sell the compost, I will have something to throw in the fields. I need to get a manure spreader for compost. That's something I need for the cow when I get the cows in anyway, so it doesn't matter all that much. So So what I'm going to do today and Thursday is I'm going to be moving bales about, as you do. And then next week, for you guys, I will start on the ploughing. And just real quick out of character, you can see the number 2 is still up is up in the corner of the screen. I actually changed the soil mod so it works on a 4-day cycle. I'm going to swap that back to 2, which means it'll go through a cycle as soon as I load into the game afterwards. I swapped it to a 4-day cycle because I was running a bit late on mowing. It went on the baling even. It went after midnight, and I didn't particularly feel like losing a load of hay. So that's the reason soil mods seem potentially might look a bit different. So let's get in, turn on the tractor, and let's go. So I haven't used the compost master at all yet, ever, on any farm. So this is why I'm popping my cherry, if you will. So let's grab a bale here, and real quick out of character, I'm going to talk about the edits I did and what has happened. So the first and most obvious edit is the main yard. That's completely changed. Also the lime soil is in. That's completely changed because I got carried away. The first edit I did was to the dairy area, and that was the edit I intended. Then I decided, oh well, if I'm doing this, I might as well do some work on the main yard, so that got done. And then I decided, well, if I'm doing the main yard, I might as well throw in a couple of spreads. That's why the seed and compost masters have arrived. Did that actually go in? I don't know if this thing can handle bales. Oh, it can't handle bales? Or did I scrub the triggers? Did I scrub the triggers? I don't think this thing can handle bales, and there was a bale just stuck in there. Yeah, this thing doesn't handle bales. Well done, Dave, you idiot. What am I supposed to do? I now have a bale less, okay. How much am I making per bale? 858. Okay, so I can't make compost with the bales. Can't be bothered getting the massey out again, so I'm just gonna run these directly into the shed one by one. I'm slightly peeved. It should get us back into positive monies again, because, you know, being gone for a couple of weeks, money hasn't been too great, and we are in a bit of debt with the bank. I could have taken out another loan. There's the hot air balloon, which seems a lot lower than usual, I must say. There's a hot air balloon passing by. They're nuts. Those guys, they literally fly all night. Haven't seen them land ever, so I don't know if they land somewhere nearby or if they just constantly fly about in that thing. And if they do, how do they eat and drink? But yeah, I was mowing until, well, not mowing, but sorting out the final meadow until well after midnight. And those guys were still floating about. Not quite sure what's wrong with them, but there's definitely something not quite right with them. Let's pick up this bit over here. The worst part about this is deciding what bale you want. So, I actually got a couple of calls while everything was going on, while Bill just rang, and everything. Charles is back, by the way. He's just recuperating. He got a bad cold when he was off on holiday, so trust him to manage to get a cold while on holiday. He'll be out of action for a few days, I think. Got a couple of calls. One was actually from Charles. He said that he had picked up a new mower on his travels, and that it would be arriving late this afternoon. He said the guys drop it off at the shop at about 5 o'clock or so. So, at the end of the next video, possibly find out what he got. He said he got a Sitma something or other, and that it's slightly larger than the mower he had, which isn't too hard. He also said it was a rotary disc mower, which is a massive improvement on the sickle blade, which is wonderful. The second call was actually from the guys at the shop, which was unusual because they only call when they want money normally. They're those kind of guys. You don't hear from them for weeks, and then you owe them a $5, or you lost a bet and you owe them 50 quid, and they ring you constantly. This is a courtesy call from them. They said they had actually got in a two-prong subsoiler, and basically it was used to the point where nobody's ever going to want to buy it. So they offered it me for free. Offered it to myself and Charles for free. I'm only here temporarily helping Charles. Obviously, I'll be here for a while, but only here helping him. So of course I said yes, anything that's free is good by me, so they'll have that ready in the morning. They also said, because I mentioned the mower to them, it was actually a couple of days after Charles rang about the mower. They also said that they'll take the mower in and do any servicing, so when it arrives at 5 they'll bring it in and work through the night, because actually one of them was out walking his dog, believe it or not, when I was mowing the final meadow. He saw what I was doing it with, he felt sorry for me, and decided he'd do whatever he could to get a better mower for this farm. I don't know why he never did it for Charles, but he's decided to do it for me. Possibly because Charles is a little less insane than me. So the guys at the shop are going to service that Sitma and get into full proper working order, and that'll also be available in the morning. So we'll have 2 new pieces of equipment tomorrow morning. Before then we got a lot of work to do, or at least try to get done. First, and I think most importantly, because these things have been sitting out for quite a while now, is getting these bales in and getting them sold off. That's priority number 1. Priority number 2 then is starting to plough up the fields. I don't think I'm going to get it all done today. And with Charles is down and out, so also he's useless with the plough. He showed me a video of him ploughing the last time he ploughed. There's a reason he didn't have a plough on the farm. He managed to get the plough to disintegrate. So yeah, I'm gonna have to teach him how to plough. I'm not gonna trust him with it for the entire time I'm here. I might trust him with it after a couple of goes with a slightly bigger plough, because the 3 furrow I have at the moment, it's not going to be good enough for this farm. If we're going to expand this place, it's definitely not going to be good enough. Where on earth are the beds? Completely overshot. Well done me. So, there we go. What it looks like is going to happen is I'm going to be stuck ploughing at least once. Definitely once with a 3 furrow plough. Hopefully the beets will give us enough money that we can, you know, upscale things. And as a result of the new arrangements over here, we are going to actually have to get a shovel. Charles didn't think this through, of course. He just wanted a new grain shed. Wanted a, you know, a smaller grain shed arrangement than what he had. So, him being him, he decided to get a smaller one in. Didn't think. So we now need a shovel to get the beets out. He knew full well I was planning on doing beets at this next harvest as well, so I think there might be a bit of malicious intent there. Just a bit. Because he knows I'm better than him at pretty much everything. Don't worry though, I would have worked for Charles. Would have worked for him. I'm going to be doing the spraying at least once. At least the initial spray. I'm going to lay down a trace for him to follow. Now, I've installed GPS in a kind of a temporary GPS module in both the Massey and the Deutz. This thing obviously had it originally as standard somehow. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be leaving down a GPS trace for him to follow. And I'll be doing this on every field. I'll be doing the initial GPS trace and then he'll follow it. And what he's going to do is he is going to get the subsoiler, which I already had a look at. Looks okay. Looks like it'll do exactly what I want it to. He's going to lay down tram lines in the fields. And after that, if there's any more spraying needed to be done, potentially he can do it instead of me, so that I can get on with something more important, like fiddling with the bales. Or trying to get that one bale out of the composter. I'll head down to the second. Gonna head over to this meadow, I think. This is going to be the hardest one to load up onto the trailer, so I'm going to head here first. This one's on a hill. Yeah, I'm going to give Charles kind of menial tasks because I just don't trust him yet. I don't even know if he can be trusted with unloading, the beet harvester. I'm going to let him try. I'm going to lay down a fairly specific path for him to follow and a routine for him, and train him in on that overnight. Over the next few nights, obviously, because it's going to be a few days before we get beets. So, we're going to be training him in on that. We need to go under the track. I have to think of where I wanted to go there. We're going to be training him in on that, so that's going to be fun. It's basically going to be me sitting, well, hanging out the door of this tractor. Because I'm going to train him in this tractor and then get him to drive the Massey, because that makes sense. Basically going to be me hanging out the door of this tractor or the Massey, shouting instructions at him while he drives. And once he gets the routine down, it should be okay. The issue is he's going to be doing his own thing for the actual unloading of the the unloading of the harvester, which I can only imagine the trouble that's going to cause. So I have to turn off the engine of this thing and run back down to the farm. Which... yeah, I'm just gonna get the magic taxi down there. There we go. One of the few times that I will tap around is when I'm faced with walking in that kind of distance. So I don't know if I can trust Charles. I can trust him to, you know, do the minor things like unload. Once I figure out which, you know, once he tells me which of the many areas he wants the beets put into, I can set up a routine for him to unload. That's perfectly fine. Have I managed to get this stuck? Have I actually managed to get the trailer stuck? Yes, I have. Wondrous. Absolutely wondrous. It's not going to do any wonders for the paintwork. Oh well. I absolutely hate trying to get things unstuck from things. I have no idea how I managed to get the trailer stuck so badly. Can I even free it? I may need to... I can't free it. It's genuinely stuck, so I'm gonna have to actually reset it. That is something completely new to me. I've never had that happen before. Not entirely sure I managed that either. Just central camera. Yes, that's what I actually. Whoop-de-doo. I've gone the wrong way. Also, I'm hoping something that could happen hasn't happened. Not quite sure how this is gonna work. Out of character real quick. There are a few bugs with the map. Oh good, it didn't happen. Probably wondering why I said, oh good, it didn't happen while I'm coming down here. There are a few bugs with the map. Number one, flickering textures, floating buildings, whatever. They're just kind of par for the course for one of my edits, I guess. Number two, the ground is horrifically uneven. And number three, and possibly the biggest one, and judging by that, I won't ever encounter it on video. I was resetting everything on the map last night to just gonna reverse here a little. I was resetting everything on the map because, you know, I changed the art about. Fertilizer spreader got stuck inside that giant concrete slab there. Gonna leave the massey on for time. Fertilizer spreader was literally inside this, which wasn't exactly good. It's because that overlaps the reset point, basically. No issue, not gonna fix it. I shouldn't encounter it again. I don't plan on releasing this edit anyway, so doesn't bother me. I might release the save game at some point, but not the edit. So anyway, yeah, Charles. Let's backtrack because I've completely forgotten what I told you guys in this video. Number one, Charles got a bit carried away in the remodeling of the dairy and ended up remodeling the entire damn farm. That's the thing that happened. I've completely missed the turn off. I'm going to go this way then. The second thing that happened was Charles came back back on holiday. He was visiting his aunt or something, not quite sure. And he came back and he was sick, because of course he was. So that's just the way my luck is. So he's actually at home in bed, very, very sick. Well, it's a head cold, but it's a really bad one, I will admit. Thirdly, he actually bought a mower while he was gone. He has a few friends around his aunt's for some reason. And, can I get over the rail? Nothing there? No. Of course not. He has a few friends down near where his aunt lives, because he apparently visits her reasonably often, which I have no issue with. He's got a few friends down there that own farms, and one of them was getting rid of an old sitting mower he had, so Charles got his hands on it for free, which is always good, and it's making its way up to the shop at the moment. They're just gonna service it and make sure it works properly, and I'll be down to collect it in the morning. Also, there's the subsoiler that is currently at the shop. They're actually just getting it into a condition where it can be used. I don't know how good the condition they'll get it into is, but I've been told they can work wonders. Mind you, they told me that themselves, so I don't really know if that's trustworthy information. I could do with a subsoiler anyway, so it doesn't really bother me all that much. Something to just lay down tram lines that I can follow consistently is always good. So, I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. I'll be back, well, momentarily for me, on probably about Thursday for you guys. And, I'll be moving these bales. So until then, thank you all very much for watching. Ooh, just remember one thing that I'd done in the edit out of character. I actually changed the GRLE files because I watched David Oldfield. I changed the GRLE files because I wanted to, well, because I changed bits down at the main yard and at the cows. And they required me to get rid of some grass areas, so I changed the GRLEs of these fields to look like they'd been mowed. Really, this is not the field that I mowed. These aren't the lines that I mowed into it. This is Giant's Editor lines. But they have been... Everything is back the way that it was. All the fields were mowed, are mowed. I didn't mow them manually this time round, because, quite honestly, I didn't fancy doing it all again. And the two fields that are harvested are still harvested with wheat stubble on them. Oddly enough, that actually added stubble, because I had the crop destruction thing on soil mod. So I've actually added stuff to the map. Added stubble into the map again. Yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Until I see you again, stay safe and goodbye.